that I'm going to read. They're relatively new, and the first poem is told from the perspective of a seal. Seal. Snow, I saw you, walking over the ice, your bare feet sticking a little to the kingfisher glow, preening your hair that had gone jagged with frost or time. I didn't know you were here. To stay or go, you picked up the nearest stone. It looked like an arrow. The fish were playing dead in the pond, their flickering bodies twists of fire. I sank, watched the polar bear lower its head to the ice. I was the seal looking up, my eyes so big that I could see every slice of blue falling, like the petals in that cornflower garden, the ocean thrum. Further than memory, it is further than you, stretching out in your kingfisher blue. You twist, you go, push towards the sun, the constant light, drive some to insanity, or is that sanity, clarity, pure as a dove? The way my body lies on the ice, all heavy, like the blubber of a whale. I'll dive, I'll show you how to catch the brightest fish, chase them like strands of light towards the dawn, zigzagging over the crest of a wave. The fish you'll hold in your hand, I'll give you, again, again. So this second poem is about, I suppose, two concerns of mine at the moment, and that's religion and science, and I've tried to kind of bring them together in this poem. Two visions. If the mind was opened, flattened like a piece of paper, you may see the world held in a certain light. I stagger through the early morning rain to the museum. I stand by the DNA spiral. It looks like the stairway to heaven. The curved steps shine copper and silver, the glint of God in the rainy room. In another space, a medicinal cabinet, thrown open like a tomb, the bottles of powdered mustards, the delicately embellished lid with two herons crouched towards the bottom. An imaginary unicorn's horn, hidden somewhere, spinning in its own light, white and silver, a ring of stars around the point. Now these next poems, they're from a cycle I've been writing, which is in my collection of poems, and it's about, well, it's told in voices. So the voices are depicting a imagined future country that hasn't been, well, they think it hasn't been occupied, so they all move to this new country, but it turns out that it has been occupied and it's old. It's called the climate. There was a waterfall before I knew which way water fell, or if a Colbert droplet was as heavy as a ruby dug out of a wall of golden mosaic, the green pattern scrawled like the inside of a very ancient place. But I was assured the temple was new, chiselled from contemporary stone. Nothing is new, I thought, but that was a lie, I told myself. On the shelf above the door were the icons of a new religion. They were golden in places, blackened with thought. I thought of Angkor Wat, the inside of the walls, Kaimar steps, the feet mine too big. And how easy it would be to fall, you said. Eyes of jade green, the colour of your necklace, the colour of the moon in a prehistoric light, or the kites we viewed from the window, yes, the kites we viewed from the window, as if those strands were words wrapped around ribbon, knotted to pieces of glass, how they cut our throats to pieces till we shouted Carmen that looked like a mistake. One of them was shouting, do not start, do not start. The illegality of what we did was over before we knew it. We wiped out flamingos in a bat of an eye, diminished the elephant population in a cough, took out every single tusk we did, the yellowed hooks of wisdom discarded. Do not start, they were saying, as I climbed that tree, higher into the blue canopy. You said, look out for the monkeys, that is their realm, me with my hook and the blood on my face. Already we have vandalized this place. This breath not yet breathed. New constellations. I came to you with the morning light. You remarked on its colour. Do you remember? Do you remember that the sunrise looked heavy with loss, as though the sunrise were very ancient? It clearly was the first sunrise we'd seen. With the ruby in your ring, you ran your hands back through your hair. You were talking about the past again. It tired me. Do you remember that I put my head in my hands and breathed quite deeply for a few seconds? Do you remember the way we undressed, or the way our bodies left strange shapes in the sand? I didn't understand you. You spat your words so fast they felt like bullets at times, stones, glass, pieces of grit that made me blink, and before I knew it, you were dressed in white, earthly angel, though we are far from earth it seems. But some things have remained the same. You see this love, it was hard to make that new again. You started wearing the heads of tropical flowers in your hair. You gathered white shells on the first day, bound them with seagrass, draped them around your neck. I remarked that your collarbone looked distinguished. Soon the shells were coming loose. Next you were saying, why did we leave the old country? This was the day when the storms had come. The palm trees bent down to the ground as though praying or grieving. The sky turned to the colour of a beaten body. Blood congealed, rain pelted, and each blast felt like a weapon. You lay on top of me with your face buried in my neck. You didn't notice that I was weeping too, or that the moon was entirely lost, or that the sun had been thrown into the ocean. It sank to the bottom. This was only tangible because the bronze gold light floated to the top. The storm stayed all night. The compass went insane, the needle thumping to the north, to the south. The Southern Cross became tangled, the plough got blown over all those northern miles away. New constellations formed. We named them different things like the woman's neck or the dancer's back. We watched them pirouette their glitter before they fell from those very skies to rest on our closing eyes. And this is my final poem. It's called Green Dobermans, which is the title of my collection, which is forthcoming. And it came about because when I was in Chile a long time ago, I got chased by a Doberman. And then I had a dream night afterwards, and this was kind of what happened in the dream. Cut open the dog head. Cut the pale green brain. Its head is an avocado. Take out its stone, then the fork from your pocket. Drag it over the muzzle. The blood runs out in ribbons into the hair. It's dog ribbon hair. The dog egg in the pan boils, barks through red and endless dark, bubbles stars into light, lies down inside my bitten ankles. Ballerina tutus, they dance away from me. Our sheets hang like lungs on the washing line. Capillaries shoot blue, bark green Dobermans through the streets of Santiago, the size of small horses, liquid lime, they run as zaps, snapping the swinging tassels on my bag. Thank you.